All right. Hopping in late here, we've got 2 teams for NA. Sorry, this is a last minute setup, so I'm still just settling in here, but we have 2 teams duking it out for NA Women's Weekly Week 10. And this time we have both pickup rosters, or wait, no, one of them actually might be official. A lot of WCB announcements have just been made in the past few days, as the regional is this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday for NA. So Sapphire, I think, is an official roster that will now be playing. They haven't competed professionally before, but I believe we saw them last week. Maybe not with Karamel, but, you know, some variation of this. And on the other side, we have Emily, Crescent, and EU's Duckz. So I don't believe we've seen Duckz before playing one of these. If they have, I can't remember. But let's see a quick ping check for our EU player. And it looks, wow, they've got 88 ping to an NAE server. That's pretty darn good if I do say so myself. So working with a lot here, it'll be pretty easy for them to get into the flow of this lobby, I would bet. But starting it off with an even score line here so far. And hold on, I'm getting messages in the background, so I just gotta check this real quick. Be right back. Okay. So we might have another host joining in the lobby if you happen to see that join. We were supposed to have Mythra host this, but you know, work can't control work, kept her a little bit late, time misunderstandings. So she'll hop in probably somewhere in the middle of this first game and take over from there. But in the meantime, we're seeing a pretty even matchup here. We've got pretty high level players on each side in terms of team. I would probably say that Duckz is the highest level player in here. She is part of Williams Resolve. Can't really pronounce that right now. Williams Resolve, which is the dominating women's team in EU right now. I think they've gone undefeated this entire season so far. So that's through maybe 4 or 5 different regionals. I'm losing track here since we had a break. So pretty dominant reign, and you know, on the other sides of the pitch, all these other players are all really decently rated. We've got Crescent from Circuitry Gaming, who is, you know, they recently shot up to top 8 in NA, I believe. Jules from previously from Mosquitoes, now joining Sapphire, also in a top roster. And yeah, just a lot of really properly skilled players on this pitch right now, and they are certainly duking it out as the storyline has been kept pretty darn close here. But we are going to see, as they fight for this first game in the best of 5, trying to see who is the better in week 10. Sapphire putting pressure on the net. They're going to keep it in the orange half, but now there's a breakaway on the other side. Emily gets a demo, which is going to open up space for Duckz to work her magic, getting a little bit of mechanics out there. But ashleigh moving in behind her teammate to make the save and keep them in this game. But Crescent, she's going to expose a hole in the rotation. ashleigh getting on the wrong side of the ball there. She wanted to keep goal side so that, you know, the dunk could do nothing but go to the wall. And unfortunately, that's just a tiny mistake that's going to lead for the 3rd goal for this Meow roster. Now Sapphire getting more pressure off of the kickoff, but Emily's going to have a good clear out into the other half, meaning Karamel has to back down. Duckz putting pressure and even demoing that's just slightly off target from Emily, but Crescent is going to keep the pressure for now. Now Karamel up early. She's going to have ashleigh to drop it down to, trying to get it pass off the back wall, but Emily gets in the way. And now we see this Sapphire roster just a little bit concerning in the rotations. It looks like, you know, a counterattack could easily get past them. but they're going to survive for now in their half, as Duckz had to take it slow off the side wall. Jules getting a crazy save, and ashleigh is going to follow up on it. Karamel trying to take it out. Duckz going in for the quick beat, trying to get the redirect on it, but it doesn't quite connect. And now she's going to force the Sapphire player out of the area, meaning Emily can take it away. Love the physical plays. It's always interesting to see how, you know, a player can fit those into the rotation, because actually one of the most underutilized physical and demo play is trying to get them as you rotate out. After you've already made your play on the ball, you're coming back into rotation as the third man, and you're trying to get in there and make a difference, you know, try to relieve the pressure on your player to get it back in. But that is Meow taking the first game in this best of 5. All right, game number 2. Meow already having taken 1. They were looking pretty strong, yeah. And the thing that I noticed is that Duckz has really good ping in this this lobby.
Yeah, I mean, Duckz on an 84 ping on a US East server. This is probably one of the best server I've seen. However, ping does not seem to matter when the ball is ending up in the back of your net.
Very true, very true.
With Karamel harassing Crescent and ashleigh, just putting it right beside them, just on the back post, unsavable.
Well, in this, Emily especially is a very physical player, so you're going to see a lot of that. Demos, bumps, everything coming through. You know, it's pretty balanced on the other side, having Jules over there from the previously on the Mosquitoes roster. I would say, you know, one of the more physical focused teams in NA. So at least there's a little bit of balance, but I know that can get annoying for some.
Oh, 100%. The bumps and demos in this game are one of the more crucial points. However, on the side of Meow, I'm seeing a lot of mechanical talent with Emily, Crescent, and of course, you know, Duckz being Duckz. This Meow squad is probably one of the more mechanical teams I've seen, so we can see if Jules can get all these bumps and demos going to disrupt them, but at the end of the day, my money is would still be on Meow to take this one, just purely through mechanical ability.
I definitely agree with you there. I mean, already Duckz has tried to pull out a flip reset pop past 2 players, and it was only ashleigh making a diving save on their goal line that prevented the goal. So yeah, they've definitely got an advantage in terms of mechanics, and it's showing here and there. Something else notable that I've already seen in the first game is that Sapphire, I know they're a relatively new team. I think Karamel was just announced to this roster a couple days ago. But you know, they have a little bit of rotational holes here and there as they push up pretty aggressively with their first and second man. And you know, I've seen their third man just on the other half of the field past halfway line, which is an aggressive and dangerous way to play. It can be successful if you've already got a lot of pressure and you have the boost starve going. But it definitely leaves a lot of opportunities open for your opponent. Ooh,
there are definitely a lot of
play.
holes with these with these 2 players up, whereas one person playing very, very deep. You have seen it. You can see it a lot in the European scene, in particular with ERN Raw. If you ever see how they've played, it's often very, very 2 people up on the ball with one person sitting deep back, and it tends to work out because they are very, very mechanically gifted.
Right.
But as you mentioned with this Sapphire roster, it's the same story. There are holes in their rotations, and those holes, when found out, they can be exploited very deeply.
Well, and you know, it isn't something that's really strong is having that one player already upfield to get like a redirect shot or whatnot. But when they're right side by side, that makes it a little bit like even as a player, and here we see them getting called out by Duckz. But when you have the first and the second man pushing up and they're directly side by side, even if you're purposely trying to do like a 1-2 passing play, that's so hard to get the right angle and power on it. So I think they be much better off with a staggered approach, but, you know, we'll see how they fare against this pickup roster.
Yeah, I mean, with this roster in particular, they're showing some promise. Like, I mean, 1-to-1 with just over 90 seconds to go, it's not entirely out of the realm of possibility that Sapphire could end up taking game 2, and dare I say, even the series at the end of the day. With it seems very close at the moment.
Right. Right. Yeah. And you know,
Although
it was close last one.
I have a feeling this Meow squad have yet to unleash their X factor. I don't think they're showing everything they can. It feels a little bit like they're toying with their food. I feel like they have a lot more to offer than this, and they're kind of just toying with their food. As we see Emily with a pre-jump to put it into the corner.
Right. Yeah, getting up early with the challenges. And, you know, like I mentioned when we first started talking, Emily, she's going to be up in your business whenever she can be. When you know, she's already made a play on the ball, which I was just talking about in the last game being, you know, one of the strongest ways to get bumps and, you know, physical plays, demos, all that sort of thing, is actually when you're, you know, making your rotation out, because nobody's looking at you. They're still looking at the ball. So you have a good opportunity to, you know, cause some chaos in the back line and, you know, be able to do it with very little boost. But, you know, see, and there we have it right there. Emily going in for an early challenge out of a blind spot. It's just that sort of stuff that'll throw off a rotation. And that's where you can get the advantage really quickly.
It can definitely give you an advantage, but towards the latter half of this game, Sapphire have been looking more and more promising. They've really held this Meow squad on the back foot for the last moment, and they're going to have the last laugh here if Jules can keep this up off the ground. But we are going to see overtime. This game is anyone's to take.
Truly. And we see it going pretty even off of the middle circle. Sapphire is going to have the early pressure into the orange half, but without a pass to connect, it's just going to easily go into Meow's hands as Duckz brings it down the sidewall.
Yeah, but again, Meow just having that one player ready to intercept. They've always got somebody in the area to at least make it difficult for them. But Duckz getting faked out by Karamel, this is a lot closer than it possibly could have been. But that was a massive misplay, and Emily almost took advantage of that.
Yeah, Duckz trying to keep the pressure in the midfield. It's going to leave Emily to take it up, but ashleigh's early for the interception. We see a lot of high-flying plays right now. Just need somebody to slow it down, get a little bit of mechanics on the ball. Duckz pushed off by a Sapphire player, and we're going to see it cleared out into the orange half.
Yeah, and Duckz is the last person you ever want to see in a solo play opportunity in the air with the ball with boost, because 9 out of 10 times she will sink those. Now the Sapphire team did play that very well, as this looks to be a little bit awkward for Duckz right now, as she has no boost in the tank. Jules trying to just keep control of it, but ends up giving it away to Crescent, who now puts some offense on the other side. Takes out one in the back corner, leaves Emily with 1v1s, and it just flies all the way back from that 50-50. But again, you don't want Duckz in these 1v1s, in these situations with boost and the ball. She can take over the series at a whip, whenever she would like.
Yeah, and there we're going to see her
Oh, what a save by Jules! What a save on the goal line. I don't know how she kept it out, but it keeps their hopes alive for the Sapphire squad. But Emily with the fake!
Oh, beautiful!
The flip reset fake. Emily takes it into the sky, gets the reset, fakes it under Karamel, wave dashes, fakes the backflip, and ashleigh and Jules just double commit on the goal line, forcing it past them into the bottom corner. And with that, Meow take the lead. They take the game, and they're 2-0 up in the series.
Yeah, it's going to be a hard-fought reverse sweep if Sapphire are going to make this happen in this best of 5. But, you know, they've kept it close so far, so I have complete faith in them. It's going to be, you know, a battle from start to finish. But if they can take at least one game, I would consider that a victory myself, because, you know, this Meow squad has looked clean from start to finish.
This Meow squad have looked completely dominant, but if any team could do this, I could see Sapphire being the team to do it. They have the ping advantage. Let's see if they can get this mechanical advantage.
Yeah. Well, and like you were saying, like even we're talking about Duckz a lot because obviously they are the highest level player on this pitch, just in terms of their team standing alone. But you know, her teammates in Emily and Crescent are no slouches either, because they, you know I've personally played a 1v1 against Crescent. She ruined my life, you know, just completely out mechanic me in every regard, even though that doesn't take much. So, you know, all around, you just have to be careful with every one of these orange players, because you never know at what moment they can, you know, go for a solo outplay and just, you know, beat 1-2 of your players, maybe even the whole squad, as we saw Emily do in the last play of the previous game.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, Emily and Crescent are probably some of the most underrated players in NAWCV. But that's the backboard open, but Emily with an easy clear. And now the backboard's open the other way. Duckz, can she get the double tap? Of course she can. Straight into the back of the net, off the backboard. Karamel with a poor touch out to the midfield. And Duckz, she's already up in the air, gets the reset. No stopping that.
And Emily... classic. We have a few people, including yourself, if I do remember correctly, in previous games, you know, immediately after a good play saying hi Twitter. So, you know, got a little bit of talk in the chat here between the players just to make it more interesting.
Yeah, but let's see if this actually motivates the Sapphire squad, because I'm sure they will not want to end up on Twitter as Duckz. You can't do that to them.
Jeez, she's out here styling on everybody with that pass, and Emily with the pre-flip shot. That was just perfect placement into the right side of the net.
Just unsavable. Like this Meow squad, a pickup team as they may be, you cannot underestimate them, because they will just pull out plays like that. Duckz wants this series to be over in a sweep. Let's see if Sapphire can respond. They're 2 goals down, but with 3 minutes left to play, there's plenty of time to see a comeback happen.
And we're
but
seeing
not when you leave
plays come
this team.
out.
Not when you leave this team in a 1v1 against each other. But again, this Sapphire team, as good as they are at getting the ball downfield, they can't find that extra touch to get it past the final defender. They have so much pressure. They're getting all this offense, and they just can't get it past the post. They just can't get it in between the posts. They can't. This Meow squad are just way too clean and holding it down on defense. Even if you get it past 2 of them, there's always 1 more ready to go.
Right, and we see Duckz barely off of the sidebar on that shot. But it's just going to put Sapphire under pressure when they really need to be on the other side of the field getting the goal back. Ooh, and we have a nasty own goal.
An own goal.
Yeah, I would say
I think I can see where Karamel was going with this. She just panicked. She's on the back post. She's in the right spot, but she just is not able to get out of the way in time. And Duckz just puts it straight on her nose. It's 3-0 to Meow. Now there's plenty of time left, but I don't want to be the one to curse it. Could Sapphire potentially come back in this game? They've looked outclassed. Right. I'll be brutally with it. They've looked outclassed by this team. As Duckz dribbles it around the final defender, Emmy, she has an open net. It's 4-0. I'm calling it now. It's GG's.
Yeah, you know, it's crazy the difference between the first 2 games and this last one. It looks like Meow have just kicked it into another gear, and, you know, Sapphire, they don't know how to deal with it. They're overextending, trying to get the goals back, because in terms of a 3v3, they're running out of time to make the comeback. You know, it's not impossible, but it's definitely hard. It's no 1v1 where you can get 4 goals off of kickoffs in a minute. So, you know, where it was a hard fight before, this is reaching impossible for Sapphire to take a game.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of their mistakes just seem to boil down to just not taking control of this ball. As soon as they get a touch, they're just booming it on net. They just need, if they can control it, keep it locked in their opponent's corner, eventually they will overextend, as we see right now. Karamel up early, beats the final defender, and puts it in the back of the net. Making up for her own goal, just up so much earlier than Crescent. And try as she might, she just cannot catch up to that ball. 4-1, not out of... It's not impossible, but they only have 2 minutes to do it.
Yeah, and you could see there that Crescent just a little bit, you know, they have goals to lose, so certainly can't be mad about Meow trying to get in there and put some more bangers on net. But it's going to leave an opening for the Sapphire squad, and Jules taking a second. So we see that is 2 goals in the span of like 20 or 30 seconds, I think. You know, if they can keep up this pace, they are back in this game without a doubt. Got to keep up this momentum though, because if I can totally see it now, if Meow get another goal and it's a crushing one like the previous
and that's 3.
But we continue. You know, stop me in my tracks. What am I saying? What do I know? Take it away, Mythra.
Jules just fakes the kickoff. She fakes out their kickoff she fakes out the person going for the kickoff. The cheat just is not ready, and Karamel has the easiest open net of her life. As soon as I say that, a minute 30, 1 goal. It's not it's not impossible anymore. They have a minute and 20 to get 1 goal back, but you know as well as I do, this Meow squad are not going to go down easily. Over to the side, Duckz and Emmy both up for this. Just floater in midfield, ashleigh trying to find Karamel. Karamel looking for the net, Jules looking for bumps, but Duckz with the squishy save saves it out in the way. But Jules pops it back into the air. Ashleigh's got an open net. It's 4-4.
Well, you know, look at our past selves and how stupid we sound. Sapphire bringing it back from 4 goals down in a matter of minutes when it looked so dire before. You know, did the Meow squad break down here? Did they get too confident, or did Sapphire just need a little bit of footing to get back into this game? Now they've got to close it out with a goal lead to be able to continue on in this series.
Yeah, I mean, Crescent just pushing away from the net, but Duckz looking for the double tap, saved by Karamel. But Emmy keeps it on control, gets a reset, looks for the dunk, 2 Sapphire players go. Duckz back onto the sidewall, tries to read it. Karamel will just take it slow. Crescent backs off, playing it slow. Emmy pops it back up, but it's just straight to another Sapphire player. And everyone can breathe for a moment. Although you know this Sapphire squad will not want to let anybody breathe for even a moment.
Yeah, Karamel flicking it past 1, but Duckz is easily going to pop it over 2 as Emily goes for a tight angle double tap. Now we're in the final 10 seconds. Can one of these teams take the lead, or are we going to see overtime? Ooh, Sapphire getting
Jules
a
with
good
a
look
pass
at the goal.
straight to Karamel, and if Karamel hit that angle on 0 seconds, well played. But now it looks like Meow could have it, but they're all in that half. Karamel takes it to the sky. There's no one downfield. Emmy keeps it onto the side, passes it mid. Duckz is up early to the backboard. It's going to drop down. Is anybody there? And we have overtime. 1 goal separates a sweep or the start of a potential reverse sweep. What are we going to see today, Paper?
Well, you know, I always like more content, so I am hoping for Sapphire to take this game. You know, sweeps are good, especially when you get some good goals on the net from the winning team. But, you know, a longer series is always better. More Rocket League is good. So far, we're not going to see that as Emily saves it away. She even gets a second touch on that, forcing Karamel to get an awkward contact in the midfield. ashleigh clearing it out, and Crescent is up early for the block.
This Sapphire squad have started doing exactly as you wanted them to. Their first man rotating out has started bumping and going for those demos on their way out. And it's really held this Meow squad back. They've not been able to counter it. Jules off the backboard. Is anyone there? Karamel. The net was open, but no one was there to follow it up. And now you've got Emmy in a 1v1 against ashleigh. Falls to Duckz. Duckz has an open net. She puts to the corner. Goes for the double. No one there to follow it up. Back into the corner and away, and Karamel takes control. Dunked by Emmy. Jules to the sidewall. Gets another touch over 1. It's just Crescent back. But Crescent takes it to the sky, and everyone can take a breath. Although only for a moment.
Yeah, Emily getting over the top of everybody, and we're going to see Duckz on the defense moving back into the other half. Karamel with a clean shot on net, and it is going to go in for their 5th goal, taking game 3, keeping the series alive. ashleigh up early, getting that bump on Duckz, and she just could not get the clear that she wanted, leaving Karamel open to take the shot and the game.
And with 2 Meow defenders in net, if she puts that anywhere else other than the top corner, that is saved away. So well played by Karamel to get that into the back of the net. And now we have game 4.
Yeah.
We are getting some fun little chats. And
Emily, always one to chat it up.
always one to try and chat up the opponents, to try and make them wait. And hey, we're all for it. We get to watch another 5 minutes of hopefully some high-flying, action-packed Rocket League. I couldn't tell you any other way. I wouldn't have it any other way.
Well, you know, I didn't even realize it, but somehow Ulti got into this lobby? Am I crazy?
You are not crazy. There is an ulti in this lobby. How ulti has got in here, I will never know. But
Yeah.
as we get into game 4, this is suddenly not out of the possibility realm. I mean, Sapphire, they got this 4-goal comeback in 2 minutes last game. And then the overtime winner from a bump into a touch. And it's looking the same way again. Duckz and Crescent messing up slightly on the back foot into the defense. Duckz taking it solo, trying to score. And apparently Karamel can't see. Now, I don't know if that's just to throw anybody off. Or what?
Huh, interesting. Yeah, wouldn't know what that chat is about, but it looks like she can see as she does clear it out. Maybe she just had her screen black out for a second. We will never know as we are in the middle of the game. Everybody's got to keep their hands on the controller and not the keyboard. Unless you're a KBM player. And then, of course...
Unless you're a KBM player, in which case getting off the keyboard would be slightly worrisome.
Yes,
Duckz
yes.
into the corner, out mid. Crescent doesn't commit. And I think this is the issue with this Meow squad. They just are not prepared to send their third man to get the final touch. Otherwise, this series could be over. Karamel up high, beaten out by Duckz. No one up to follow it. Ashleigh has a free touch to the side. Crescent into the corner, straight to Emmy. And Jules will just take control, back to the sidewall. But Emmy is not going to let her have that possession for free.
And there we see Emily chasing in the net, trying to give Duckz a clearer look at the back of it. But Ashleigh is going to clear it out. Crescent causing some chaos in the back line. She gets a demo, but so far Sapphire handling the pressure well as they move into the other half. Karamel trying to get a pop and a flick out to her second man, but Ashleigh is going to have to take it off the wall. Now we see Duckz missing Emily as well, but we got the in and out save to save him for now.
Yeah, a little bit of a team bump in the midfield, but the Sapphire squad, they're still retaining possession. We are seeing a lot of whiffs from this Meow squad now. It is all they can do to barely hold on to possession. As a demo and a fake.
Oh, pain. You hate to see it. The slow
Duckz just
roll
hits
miss.
it. Jules gets the demo on Duckz, and Ashleigh just overshot. It just rolls into the bottom corner, and that's 1-0 to Meow. I would hate to see this be the way that the series ends.
Yeah, surely you have to assume
What
Ashleigh
is going on, paper?
was thinking that Duckz was going to get a touch on that, and then, you know, when she was deleted, it could have been convenient, but I actually just threw off the other player. So that's one instance of the demo being more confusing than helpful. Jules going to try to prove me wrong, though, show that it is helpful, and it leaves the opening for Karamel to get in their first goal, bringing us 1-1.
Emily just a bad touch off the backboard. And Karamel there for the open goal.
Yeah, we get an explanation now in chat as Mythra so kindly asked. Looks like maybe when she joined the lobby, she was having a little bit of ping issues. But we are good now, and, you know, that is certainly proven in the best way by scoring a goal yourself. So definitely proving to us that she, in fact, can now see. And, you know, we're going to have Emily trying to take it out into the middle of the field, but Ashleigh gets a good dunk on it. Duckz is going to have to clear it away off the side while Ona to be put back in by Jules and Ashleigh.
Yeah, it is now confirmed. Everybody can officially see again. All monitors are turned on again. Ashleigh with a bump on Emmy and a dunk over Duckz. 2 go. Jules drops it down into the middle. Where is Karamel? She's taking it slow, taking her time onto the backboard. Ashleigh's there, pops it up high, but Duckz easily able to clear it away. Emmy's downfield. Will she try and redirect it? Jules back into the corner. Ashleigh to the backboard. Karamel plays it slow, fakes out Emily. And we go back to the blue half with Crescent onto the backboard. Karamel back to the side. And we're back into the neutral game once more.
Yeah, Meow, this squad, you know, moving into this game, they went from pretty close games in 1 and 2, taking it dominantly in the first half in game 3, and now we're just going to see a slight own goal as Crescent misreads the save. But, you know, what we're seeing here is, at least what I'm noticing, Sapphire has a lot more pressure in this game. They're really taking it to Meow, and, you know, that's forcing a lot of backflips, whiffs, and, you know, just misplays. And they're taking advantage of it. So Meow are going to have to really try to move into the other half, unless they're just aiming to give us more content, which I am definitely for. Give me a game 5. I want to see it.
I would love to see some more content, but Emily and Crescent don't seem to want more content. They're just trying to score it. They want to win it in 4. They didn't want to even give up that game 3. But here we are now in game 4 as we see a double commit by the Meow players. A demo in the back half. It's just Emily on her own, with 0 boost, and yet she still has control of this ball. Emily does not lose this ball.
She's definitely like super glue on her car in terms of keeping possession of that ball. She's going to put a shot wide of the goal. Duckz tries to follow up, but Sapphire gets in the way. And we're going to see us return to the midfield in the last 10 seconds. Meow have to get a goal here if they want to end this series. Duckz doing her best, pops out into the middle. Crescent trying to get the shot online. Now Sapphire just have to touch the ground, and it works. Sapphire bringing us into game 5.
Yeah, we're on game 5 for content, they say. But you never know. You never know. This Sapphire squad are looking better and better as time goes on. This is a lot more close than people would say originally. When you saw these first 2 games, it wasn't even close. Meow was just dominant over all possession, over all aspects of the field. And now, Sapphire look to be doing the same. They're giving Meow a taste of their own medicine. And I think a large part of that has come down to these awkward touches and bumps. Just throwing the Meow squad out of the rotation, out of position, and what else can they do?
We have all the copium going on in the chat here. Monitors being turned on when apparently they were off, eyes burning. So we'll see the result of this, and if that can help the Meow squad bring it back and close out this game. It certainly would not be a great look if they got reverse swept, but I'll have to say, with both of these rosters, whoever wins, they earned it. You know, whether it was at the beginning of the series putting in work or here at the end for Sapphire, you know, they've just looked clean and close for the most part against each other. So it's really a toss-up for me on who's going to take this. Based off of momentum, I'm going to have to go Sapphire, especially if they keep up their clean rotations here. As we see, there's the one player upfield getting the pass and trying to drop it back down to the second. You know, it didn't come to fruition on this play specifically, but that's the idea they got to go for if they want to take this game.
It definitely needs to be, and for this first minute, Sapphire have held more possession. It's, as you said again, they're just, it seems, cleanly beating Meow to the ball. If we, like, from what I can tell, if we want to see a Meow victory in this game 5 to avoid the reverse sweep, we need to see that step up from one player on that Meow side. As what a tree jump by Emily! Duckz clears this off her own corner, and Emily tree jumps from midfield, reads it, and puts it in the bottom right corner. Meow are up to 1-0.
Yeah, she had a slight bit of assistance there from ashleigh, but that was still an insane read. And of course, you know, all things aside, you have to attribute that to her changing into the team secret decal. There's just, you know, there's no other explanation. Automatically gained 10 skill points there. And we're going to see her try to get her second goal, but it is going to be stopped by ashleigh instead of helped this go round.
Yeah, and I mean, the player I wanted to highlight in particular would be Crescent. I think if Crescent can step up just that little bit more, just get a few key bumps, or just be as annoying as possible for this Sapphire squad, she can really enable Duckz and Emily to really put on the pressure, to really keep this squeeze going. She seems to have been doing that up for now. She has been making enough touches to where Duckz and Emily have just been able to run riot. And even though Sapphire have held this possession, Duckz now on the solo play to the backboard. Emily with a pre-jump, and again, Jules with no boost. Duckz Crescent! It's 1-1! Jules with no boost. Crescent with the misplay, with the panic. Crescent trying to clear it to this back left, to either this back left side or more towards the midfield, and Jules just follows it up, touches it over her, and we now have a game again with 2 minutes left.
Yeah, that was a classic misplay from a third man there, trying to keep possession on it, and you've got to get the perfect touch on that. Otherwise, you've got 3 opposing players coming at you to try to outplay you before your teammates can get back. So, you know, better safe than sorry if you're in the midfield to clear it out into the corners. But that is, fortunately, just going to bring them to 1-1, giving them a chance to still close out this game. And we're going to see Crescent with the pressure on the left side wall. She's going to try to clear it out to the middle to Duckz, who gets a touch into the corner again, and even a bump on Karamel. We're going to see this drop down quickly, but a Meow player is not there to capitalize as it returns to Karamel in the back.
Yeah, this game has felt very much like who is going to peak first out of these teams. And so far, after that first minute or so with Emily and her pre-jump, it seems to be the Sapphire team. Karamel just pops it over 2, and Jules is left with a free net. Duckz can't get there in time, and suddenly the script has been flicked. With 2 minutes to go, Sapphire in the lead, and it's up to Meow to make this comeback. But if any team is capable of doing it, it will be this Meow roster. But Sapphire have, I hate to be the person, I hate to be that person to say it, but they've done a good job of shutting down the Meow star player and Duckz. She hasn't been able to get going as much, and at the end of the day, it's really showed. It's really harmed this Meow roster, and they just haven't been able to do anything to show for it. But as I say that, Duckz with a flick. Karamel pre-jump save. Back into the corner. Is anyone around? No. Playing it slow, taking it down, but Karamel just blasts it away, leaves them in a 1v1. Emily forces it wide. Duckz now with the control. 2 heading back. Crescent looking for bumps. Bumps 1, but Karamel intercepts quickly. And again, they're just shutting down Duckz. They're shutting down the individual plays from this Meow roster.
Yeah, we see Karamel pushing in the corner, challenging Duckz there. Emily, the faster of the 2 to get up, and that means that they are going to have a push down the other end. It pops over the top of the goal. Crescent trying to get the touch on it, but she does not connect, and Karamel is going to try to take it out of the corner. Jules left in the back line with a clear. She has no boost here, so there's not much that she can do, but Crescent thankfully doesn't know that. And we see Emily trying to make something off the sidewall with 0 boost as well. Nothing comes of it. Duckz with a pass out into the middle. Crescent with a pop over top, and it is gonna go in to make it even. We have just under 20 seconds left with an equalizer. This is as close as it gets in a game 5.
Yeah, Crescent just beats Karamel to the, just cleanly beats Karamel to the ball, pops it over. Jules expecting her to get the touch. It just can't react in time. And now Crescent, she wants more. She's in a 1v1 with Karamel. Passes it in field. Emmy going for the bumps. But now you have Duckz. Full boost into the sky. Gets her ceiling reset. Karamel blasts away. Jules is in that half looking for bumps. Emily to the corner. Gets another touch cleanly. But it's up once more. Ashleigh bumps Duckz away. And Crescent gets the kill. We see overtime. I couldn't see any other way to end this series other than an overtime golden goal scenario. And the first pressure seems to be going that way of Meow.
Yeah, I gotta, give a shout out to all these ladies for giving us the content that we asked for. Just, looking down the barrel of a sweep, and all of a sudden here we find ourselves in game 5 in overtime, seeing who will come away with the win ultimately. And we're going to see pressure going back and forth on either side. Jules is back to make the save. She pops up high. ashleigh trying to take it out of the corner. Emily's going to miss her contact on that, meaning that Sapphire can take it away back into the orange half.
Jules with a low shot past Crescent. Emmy, perfect save on the goal line. Crescent to touch it on. Duckz on that right-hand wall. Crescent again, getting in the way of Karamel, forcing the save. Duckz clears it off the backboard, takes control, slows it down. They slow the pace down, keeping control. ashleigh through the middle. Duckz again, just taking control of it. Crescent gets the clear, but it's just straight to another Sapphire player. They are not giving Meow any room to breathe. Where is Jules? Crescent over the top, trying to clear it away. Jules takes it back to the corner. Is anybody there to follow it? Crescent looking to run interference, forces it really awkward for them. Duckz, slight misread, but still gets back to it. Dunks 2 in the corner, and that's a triple commit. This net could be open unless Duckz can get back in time.
Ooh, Duckz barely making the save, and it's gonna result in the counterattack moving the other way. Gets a fast pass off the back wall, but Crescent was pushed up a little bit too far for it. Now we see ashleigh in a 1v1. Emily makes the block, and now we are moving back down the other end. This is like a ping pong game as we move from one side of the field to the other. Now Duckz is up in the air for that mechanical shot, but she cannot get it past the first man. Crescent is going to have to go off of the sidewall, trying to get the pass. We see Sapphire coming in from behind and getting the bump on her, so that push is stalled for now, but it actually goes in. Emily getting the soft touch into the left side of the goal. That is going to be game, and Meow, despite keep making it close and entertaining for us, are ultimately going to take the series win.
Yeah, Emily, just again, as she seemed to do in that overtime earlier on, she took it solo, she popped it up, played the 50-50 into the bottom left corner. No Sapphire defender was ready, and we see Meow take the 3-2 victory. But again, I want to give a big shout out to that Sapphire team of ashleigh, Jules, and Karamel. They put up one hell of a show.
Yeah, I can totally see them moving as we are right into this NA WCB weekend. They're going to be a strong roster. They've already got a lot of chemistry, a lot of team plays were coming out here as they were getting passes to each other. And it's going to be beautiful to see how they work. Of course, I'm not especially excited about it because I will have to compete against them. But, it's always good to have better and better competition. It makes for a, greater environment overall. So excited to see how all the teams do as WCB resumes, and that we have had, the opportunity to see some of these rosters showcase themselves in Women's Weekly. It's a very fortunate thing to have happened, and I'm glad to continue making this a possibility for all the ladies out there that want to play.
Yeah, to any ladies who may end up seeing this, just remember, reach out, we will get you in here, come have some fun. And that's what the end of the day is. No matter win or lose, I hope you all had fun today. I think like, as much as the Sapphire roster may have lost, they had so much promise, and I just hope everyone had fun today. This was a lot of fun to cast.
Yeah, and this was my first time co-casting, so I appreciate you coming on here. Definitely check the description for Mythra's links and socials. We'll keep that on there. But yeah, until next time, I guess this is where we'll have to end it. As per usual, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the games, and I will see you in the next one.
Bye.